Hey guys, so if you know me at all, you know I'm weirdly obsessed with the fire department. And a while ago on Amazon, I actually bought this radio and it lets me hear all the stuff that's going around town. You know, all the different dispatches and fires and EMS calls and everything. It lets me hear the chatter of the firefighters and paramedics in my town. And I find it really interesting. And during the day, I'll listen and I'll bring it around the house and I'll always be hearing all the stuff that's going on. But at night, I can't do that. You know, sometimes I won't even wake up, or I'll wake up at the very end of the dispatch. So I'll wake up, but I won't even hear what they're talking about. And that's kind of frustrated me. So I had a new idea, which I think could go very badly, but I'm very interested in trying. So I have these smart lights, and they're all around my room. I have 4 of them around my room, and it lets me change the color of the lights, either from my phone or I can write special code on the computer to change the lights automatically. So I had the great idea for when I sleep, if the radio goes off, my lights turn on full brightness, they turn red, and the radio dispatch blares through speakers and wakes me right up immediately so I won't miss any dispatches. I'm super excited about this idea because it's gonna completely mess with my sleep. I'm gonna try it tonight. I just have to make all this work. And I have to figure out how to record myself sleeping so you guys can see my reaction waking up multiple times in the night to blaring lights and loud sounds. So here's how I think I'm gonna build it. So I have this radio, right? But this is kind of like my main radio. This is like my walking around radio, and I don't really want to do anything to it. So I got this second radio off Amazon. It's much cheaper, it's a smaller radio, a little worse audio quality, but I'm not really worried about that. So I'm gonna get this radio. I also had to get a programming cable for this radio. Basically, I had to open up the cable, I had to plug it into my computer, and I had to figure out exactly how to program this radio. But once I programmed it, it works all right. The only reason I had to program it with the computer is because every about 10 minutes, if it's not programmed, there's this loud beeping noise. It's like Morse code and it lasts like 7 or 8 seconds. And that's just not gonna work because I'm not waking up every few minutes for this beeping noise. It's just, that's not gonna work. Next up, I bought this Raspberry Pi, and a Raspberry Pi is basically a super small computer. I can write code directly to this, and this can be the entire brains of the operation. So I just have to plug it into the internet so it can interface with the lights, and I have to plug in this cable here. This cable is a very long audio cable that will plug directly into the radio. So basically, once the radio goes off, it goes into the Raspberry Pi, and the Raspberry Pi, if it hears any sound, it's gonna tell the lights to change, and then it's going to play the sound out through my speakers in my room, which I'm gonna turn up all the way. So the last thing I have to do is actually write this code. So basically, how I want it to work is I want it to continuously be monitoring the radio's input sound. If it hears any sound above a certain threshold, because there might be some, you know, random noise coming through the radio, but if it hears anything significant, I want it to turn on the lights if they're not on already, and start passing the noise through the speakers. If there isn't sound, I want to make sure the lights are off, and I want to make sure there's no noise coming through the speakers, because I want to sleep nice and sound as long as there's nothing going on. So I got this code going after about an hour of, you know, finicking with the light software and, you know, the audio software and everything. It's not stuff I'm really familiar with. I tested out with the radio and it works, so now I'm ready for the big moment. I will see you guys in about 12 hours at night, and we're gonna see if this works.
Smoke on the 6th floor. Regional alarm response, engine 21, engine reported smoke on the 6th floor, group regional 1944.
So it's 7:50 at night. I'm getting ready for bed, like getting ready to get ready for bed, and there's a fire. This is going to be such a long night. The system definitely works, but it's never a good sign. It's 7:53 and there's a high-rise fire.
EMS response for engine 25.
I mean, I guess it's like really starting to hit me that this is gonna be. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. There's no way.
That was my first one of the night. Oh my.
The rest of the night actually went pretty well. Sure, I woke up a few times saying things like,
I'm so tired.
and
Why did I do this? This is my worst idea ever.
but there weren't many calls for most of the night, so I slept pretty well. I was a little nervous, a little anxious, but it was fine. All of that changed when
AMA response, engine 22, engine 24, truck 22, battalion 21. For fire alarm.
Oh.
Engine 22, engine 24, 22, battalion 21. For fire alarm. 3059, 5 minutes. Okay, engine 22 is going to be off. We're going to be northbound on that corner building. Very, very much up.
My. Oh. What time is it? Oh. Oh.